Alright, so I've been single for quite some time now, since July of 2024 to be exact, and during my time as a free agent, so to speak, I've come to the realization that modern relationships, or just relationships in general, are extremely overrated. I've also come to the realization that being single is extremely underrated. And no, I'm not against relationships or anything like that, for anyone who's wondering. And for anyone watching this who is in a relationship, I genuinely wish you and your partner all the best. But me personally, I just don't think I'm cut out for it. At least not right now anyway. And before anyone rushes to the comment section to say some bullshit like,
"Oh, come on, Sonny, we all know you're lying. We all know that you're lonely and that you secretly crave the touch of a woman. You're only saying you like being single as a way to cope, you ugly fat loser."
And yeah, I know it's probably weird that I'm making a video about this because you don't hear too many people talking about enjoying being single. And at least in my experience, being a single guy means you're either gonna get clowned on by other guys for not having game or whatever, or made fun of by your family for not keeping the bloodline alive. But when I say that I enjoy being single, trust me when I tell you that I mean every word of it, okay? Because being single has truly given me time to reflect on all of my past relationships, and let's just say all the chaos that came with them. And I know I'm probably alone in this way of thinking, but honestly, there's way more exciting things in life than chasing relationships or situationships or whatever the hell people are labeling shit nowadays. Because let's be real, there's so many people who base their entire self-worth on whether someone finds them desirable or not, and I think that's kind of messed up. Actually, scratch that. I think it's really messed up. I think the whole idea of not being happy unless you're in some sort of relationship or situationship is something that we really need to move away from as a society. And I think it's time we put an end to this negative stigma around being single. So for all my single folk watching this, grab some popcorn, grab a drink, grab your freaking anime body pillow, because let's be real, you're probably watching this alone right now. And let's begin the single experience. You know what no one tells you about relationships? They're expensive as fuck. Like, there's only so many Lego flower sets and Chick-fil-A dates I can afford without worrying about how I'm gonna pay for my car insurance this month. And no, I'm not saying you shouldn't spoil your partner or that it's a bad thing to spend money on things like dates and material items. If you want to treat the person you love to the things they like, there's nothing wrong with that. And if anything, I hope your relationship flourishes because of it. But baby girl, this YouTube money isn't paying the bills yet. So until it does, you're getting whatever's on the McDonald's value menu. Kidding, but in this economy, it's way too expensive to constantly be going on dates and buying gifts all the time. And I think it's safe to say that knowing your wallet is struggling to breathe every 5 seconds is never a good feeling. And I don't know about you, but I'd much rather use that money to invest in things like my goals, my passions, or even my mental health, instead of going broke trying to keep a relationship alive. Like, dude, whatever happened to having a picnic date in the park? Oh wait, that costs money too now. Thanks a lot, TikTok. And before anyone calls me stingy or greedy in the comments or says something like, "Oh, if you're broke, just say so," just know that I don't care, and what you call stingy, I call being financially responsible. I think the best thing about being single is the fact that there's absolutely no drama. Like, absolutely none at all. Zero. You don't have to apologize to your partner 1,000 times for making a joke that went quote unquote too far. You don't have to get passive aggressive texts like, "It's fine," when it's obviously not fine, or "okay," when it's clearly not okay. And best of all, you don't have to explain to your girlfriend that just because she had a dream that you cheated on her, it doesn't actually mean you cheated on her. And yes, this actually happened to me countless times. When you're single, your biggest drama is having to choose between Raising Cane's or Taco Bell at 2 a.m. or deciding whether or not you want to watch TV or squat up with the boys when you finally get some free time. That's pretty much it. You get to protect your peace, your energy, and your mental health without someone constantly blowing up your phone or trying to get your attention every waking moment of the day. And once again, I know I'm probably alone in this way of thinking, but I'd much rather live a life of peace and prosperity than be in a relationship that feels like a WWE match every 5 seconds. I'd rather have an aneurysm. Yeah, that's right, I said it. And I'll say it louder for the people in the back. Modern relationships are cringe. At least when they become performative. And by that, I mean those couples who constantly feel the need to show the world that they're together. Whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Ectica, whatever you're on. Like, if I see one more couple with matching Hello Kitty profile pictures, blood will be shed and skulls will be cracked. And it's not because I'm jealous or anything. Absolutely not. It's because you look stupid. You look stupid. Okay, I'm probably gonna piss some people off for saying this, guys specifically, but I know for a fact that none of you dudes actually enjoy making relationship TikToks. And if you say you do, you're probably lying, bro. Okay, I'm kidding. There's probably a lot of you guys watching this who actually enjoy that stuff, and that's 100% fine. All the power to you. But me personally, I'd rather put my head in a microwave and give myself a brain tumor than make some shit like this.
I may or may not have a boner right now.
Because trust me, I've fallen into that trap before and I'm still waiting for my dignity and self-respect to come back. And quite frankly, I don't think they ever will. And I don't know about you guys, but I really don't like the idea of showing the whole world every aspect of my personal life, especially when it comes to who I'm dating. And aside from being extremely cringe, they give people a false image of what relationships are actually like. Not only that, but I think for a lot of people, they've become the outline for what relationships quote unquote should be. Like, what the fuck is the 3-month rule? I think comparing every aspect of your life to things you see on social media is super unhealthy. And if you're someone who does this, I'll be praying for you. Because let's be real, all these couples you see on your feed doing couple activities or whatever probably had some epic end of the relationship fight moments before these videos were taken. Speaking from experience, by the way. I think the biggest thing about being single that's often overlooked is the fact that you now have way more time to focus on your goals and passions. Not only that, you learn to be happy with being by yourself. At least I have. Because when you're in a relationship, your time doesn't belong to just you anymore. Half of it belongs to your partner now. And let's just say that if you planned on turning your big idea into a startup this year like you said you were going to, or going on that Vegas trip with the boys, think again, because that shit is not happening. Like, if time is money, then you and your partner now have a shared bank account. Now, of course, I'm painting with a broad brush because obviously there are a lot of you out there who have found the perfect work/relationship balance. And to all of you who have, I commend you because that shit is hard. But for those of you who struggle with this, including myself, just know that your goals and dreams may or may not be put on hold depending on who you're with. Because trust me, I've been there. I've been in countless situations where I told myself I was going to get in shape, start making more money, work on getting my life together, and all that kind of stuff, right? But instead, I wasted all that free time I had on FaceTime calls that lasted way too long, going on dates I couldn't afford, and obsessing over doing everything right so that they wouldn't leave me. And just like that, 6 months went by, and I was in the exact same place I was when I started. No progress, no achievements, and no growth. Just an empty bank account, newfound insecurities, and cynicism. When I could have been using all that free time I had to improve areas of my life that were lacking and create a better future for myself. And not just for myself, but for when the right person comes along. And honestly, that person may never show up. Who knows? And if it's meant to be, it'll happen. But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. Because at this point, I've found so many ways of creating my own happiness, and I don't need a person to fill that position for me. But trust me, I know, it's easier said than done. And watching everyone around you enjoying happy relationships while you're alone yearning for someone to love and cherish you for who you are is never a good feeling. Because once again, trust me, I've been there. And I know that for some, these feelings can lead to things like low self-esteem or even self-hatred. But to anyone watching this video who struggles with either of these, just know that I'll be praying for you. And I hope that you learn to love yourself, because I'm sure anyone would be lucky to have you. And as cliche as it sounds, learning to love yourself is the first step to truly loving others. But trust me, I know it's easier said than done, because everyone always says this, and in my experience, they never really explain what they mean by it. And I know a lot of you, as well as myself, probably get pissed when people tell you this, but hear me out for a second. Imagine you're living in a big, spacious house all by yourself. Except this house is super unkempt. There's dirty laundry and trash left everywhere. There's cockroaches on the walls and underneath the furniture, and all the lights are broken. Now, given what I just described to you, I think it's safe to say that you wouldn't be happy living there, right? So why would someone else? Think of that house as your mind, body, and soul. If you don't take care of it and let the negative thoughts, bad habits, and self-doubt pile up like trash, it's going to be hard to feel good about living there. And chances are it's going to be even harder for others. But imagine you start cleaning up. You toss out the trash and clean the dirty laundry. You get rid of the cockroaches and the rats, and you fix the lights so you can finally see your own worth. And as time goes by, living there won't feel too bad anymore. And if that right person does come along, you won't be looking for them to clean your house or fix the broken lights for you. You'll be ready to welcome them into a space you already love living in, and that way you'll both thrive. But the same thing goes for the other person too. If you can't stand living in your own dirty house, how are you going to enjoy living in someone else's? Especially if they still have roaches everywhere. Not only that, but if you've worked hard to clean up your house, you're not going to want someone coming in who hasn't learned to clean up theirs. Because the last thing you need is someone tracking mud all over the floors you just finished mopping. But once again, you may not find people who want to come over. You may not find people whose homes you want to visit. And you might even find people you'd rather keep out of your home altogether. But the thing is, that's totally okay. Sometimes the best company you can have is yourself, and maybe that's enough for now. Okay, enough of all the sappy bullshit. In conclusion, relationships are cool and all, but being single is underrated as fuck.